The best detox is a pattern interrupt. I heard someone say this recently, and I really thought about how true it is. If you're in a rut, if you're feeling stuck in your life in any area, you have a pattern to break. And when you break that pattern, you get unstuck. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. I'm Waxéla Sananda. Thank you for joining me today. How many things do you do in a day that are either repetitive from the day before, they are routine, they are ritual, they are something that you do the same way every single day? And day after day, week after week, month after month, you don't change up your routine. Or this can even be something as simple as eating off the same plate, drinking out of the same coffee mug, drinking the same beverage in the morning, or drinking the same beverage before bed, anything like that. And the little things that we do as well as the big things that we do. If you go to work every day, you probably go at the same time, you leave the house the same time every morning, you arrive at work about the same time every morning. Do you ever take a different route? Do you ever try something new along the way? Do you stop at a different restaurant? Do you check something out that you haven't seen before? Do you take a back road? Do you get off the beaten path? And if not, then it's very possible that this is contributing to you being stuck in one or more areas of your life. So recently I was listening to a podcast and I heard someone say the best detox is a pattern break. And I thought, how true is that? I have been on a detox the last couple of months, well, month and a half, and really letting a lot of stuff go, letting weight go, letting go of old ideas, letting go of old ways of being, completely changed the way that I eat. So many things have changed. This also changed the way that I live my day-to-day life. Each day is different. I broke out of a routine. I haven't been doing things the way that I used to do them. I haven't been going to the same places at the same times. I even have new people that I'm spending time with and sharing time with. I mean, everything in my life seems to have changed. And guess what? All of my blocks, whatever I might have had, have broken through. Financially, I have broken through. So many areas of life I have broken through. And, physically, there are just so many things that I have ascended in my life. And, I've been teaching ascension for some years now, and I know how to do these things. However, sometimes it's really important for a teacher to take a break and work on myself, work on me. And, I'm always doing that to some extent, but when I'm outputting to others all the time or most of the time, I'm less likely to be doing the self-care things. And so this last year really has been a self-care year. And I've had upgrades in many areas of my life, and I'm continuing and continuing and continuing to do that. And it's really exciting. And so today, I know I've taken a couple breaks, even from making videos, a couple weeks break. And today I really want to get on and share with you some of the realizations that I've had about what happens when you do break a pattern. And maybe I can help you break some of your stuckness and break through some areas of your life that maybe you hadn't even considered. Oh, wow, if I do this over here differently, this over here could change. And that's just how it works, because everything's connected. So when we change one thing, we change everything. It's that ripple effect. When you throw a stone in the middle of a pond, it ripples out and it affects the entire pond on some level. And this is how we are in our lives. Everything that you do affects everything else. So if you're stuck in a routine, you might not even realize you're stuck in a routine. You might be mindlessly going through various aspects of your day, not even thinking about it, on autopilot. And if you could just bring a little more consciousness into some of those areas, you could change your life. And so one of the things that I've done very differently lately is I really stopped outputting nearly as much. I stopped making so many videos. I stopped filming podcasts temporarily. I will come back. I'm still releasing them. I have really taken a big, deep break in many areas of my life. And guess what's happened? More financial stability, more money has come in from a completely different, unexpected source that, and I've shared about that here, and I will share about it more in the future because it's so exciting and so much fun, and I love it so much, and it's so easy, and it's passive income, and it's all of these things that I'm really just appreciating so much and so grateful for. But I'm not working harder. I am not working harder. I'm working less, and I'm making more. I'm letting my money work for me so that I can take care of myself and my family and the world that I live in. And that is fun. So that's just one area. Also, I had to get over this mental hurdle. I'm from the Midwest. Work ethic is huge there. So, I'm such a producer. We are not, this is my mindset previously was, if I'm not producing, if I'm not creating content, if I'm not outputting, if I'm not helping, if I'm not supporting, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I had to get past that in order to really see, like, let the seas part. And I could see then, oh, wow, I'm spending so much time focusing on producing that I'm not really deepening into my own self-care, into my own process, whatever that may be, and even my own not processing, even my own just being. There is just so much to be said for stepping away and out of the hustle and stepping in to simply being and giving yourself space to just be. That is a beautiful thing. So I've really been trying that on lately and enjoying it and reveling and really appreciating it. That's one thing. As far as we get in these stuck spaces, like I said, morning routine, and I'm a big follower of Dr. Joe Dispenza. You might know that about me. There was just last Saturday was the Walk for the World. There were around 200,000 people around the world that participated in this Walk for the World. It was an hour-long walking meditation. I did it on Siesta Key Beach with 50 some other people. I think we had 55 people. It was beautiful, beautiful, so gorgeous. And during that walk, so you go into a trance-like state and you have on the headphones, and there, not only was I connecting with the people on Siesta Key that were doing this, but also the 200,000 people around the world that were simultaneously doing it. Wow, what a powerful experience. The meditation was incredible. And during that walk, I started seeing patterns, geometry, sacred geometry, beautiful patterns around my body and emanating from my body. And I was realizing and receiving and remembering that I have the keys, I have the activation codes for what we think of as the new earth, for the new reality, for the living in the way that we all desire, when in a more harmonious, beautiful, peaceful planet. And not only do I, then I'm remembering, okay, I am all of these people, and all of these people have the codes. All of us have them, and we are activating them. And in this walk, is experiencing people, 200,000 people around the world, all activating these ascension codes, essentially, for the new earth, for a new reality, and just feeling that joy and that wave, that ripple go across the planet, go out into space, go into every person, every animal, every body of water, the earth itself, the trees, the plants, everything. And it was all pattern, it all felt like, and what I was seeing in my, in my trance state was these gorgeous lit up geometries and geometric patterns that were just shifting and changing with every thought and every feeling and every moment of consciousness that I had during that meditation. And it was so beautiful, and it is so beautiful. It continues to be so beautiful. And I felt so activated, and I still do afterward, that I just want to share that. I want to share that, and I want to, inspire others to do that as well. Because when we do this walk for the world, and we're really walking for an upgrade in consciousness, we change those patterns, and it starts with the self. It starts individually. So some more areas where you can look at pattern breaks. It's very well known in the world of weightlifting and exercise. People will, they'll work out a certain way and they'll add to it, and then they'll gain results. And then at some point they'll plateau. Same with weight loss journeys. On weight loss, you'll lose weight for a period of time, and then you'll sort of plateau. And so during those plateau times, there has to be a pattern break. That pattern break can look a lot of different ways, but it's when you do everything differently for a day or for a period of time, and that leads to a disrupt, a change in the way that your body and your mind are perceiving things. And then you can break that glass ceiling, that whether it's a threshold of weightlifting or diet and weight loss or strength training or whatever it is, you break that threshold. It could also be financial. When you have a pattern break, you start thinking differently, you start behaving differently, you start acting differently and being different. And then you can break that glass ceiling, that block that you have perceived, and break through it. And then you're on the other side. And then you're like, okay, now I've passed my plateau. What's next? What am I creating next? And that's something that I found during this period of time where I'm taking a break. A lot of people keep asking me, when are you getting back to doing summits? When are you getting back to your routine? And my answer is, I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to do things, if ever, the way that I used to, because I feel like I'm different. Therefore, everything that I do is different now. So how could I possibly go back to doing things the same way? I can't, but I can go forward and do things this in a new way, in a way that I am now. And that's exciting. It's fun. It's fun to think about. And I do feel like, okay, that desire, it's not the need to produce as much as the desire to create is kicking in and amplifying. I'm like getting ready for what's next, even though I don't know exactly what is next. So it's a fun inquiry to be in. It's a fun space to be in. Every day has its nuances. Every day has a different routine. I don't do anything the same 2 days in a row. Even if I go to the beach or go paddleboarding or go swimming or meet with friends, it's at different times in different places and different things. So it's always something new. And every day of my life is bringing me new experiences. And that's really fun. Now I realize you might be in the type of routine where you have to do certain things at certain times. There are things I have to do the same way every day too, where my son goes to school, I get up in the morning, I make his breakfast, I make his lunch, I get him out the door, but then I've got, this period of time where it's all free time and that I get to create my life during that period of time. And I always get to create my life, even in the breakfast routine. So, pattern interrupt. That's what this is about. This now is a call to action to you to disrupt your patterns. Where can you break a pattern? And what I'm looking for here is a commitment from you. I'm going to be your accountability partner in this. I want you to write in the chat an area where you can commit to making a change in your life. It might be something as simple as I'm using a different coffee mug than the one that I've always used for the last 10 years. Or it could be I'm going to eat something different for breakfast, or I'm going to go to a different coffee shop or a different lunch spot or have a different type of sandwich. I don't know. But what can you commit to? Maybe it's something big. I'm going to change where I live. I'm going to change my career. Maybe it's something really big like that. Or maybe it's somewhere in between, something in between really tiny and really huge. Doesn't matter. Maybe it's multiple things throughout your day. What will you do different? Maybe you'll drive to work in a different way. So this is what I'm looking for. In the comments, let me know what you're willing to change, and do this for the next week. And maybe you don't do it the same way for a week. Maybe you do something different every day for the next week. Maybe you visit different places. Go see something in your town. Maybe you've lived in the same town for many, many years, and there are things that you haven't seen or haven't done that you've always wanted to. Go check out one of those places. Go to an art museum. Go to a venue to eat that you've never been to. Something different and new. And tell me in the notes, in the chat, what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? What are you going to do differently? What are you going to change up in your routine? And it doesn't matter how locked into a routine you are, how locked into, maybe you're caretaking other people. I get it. Things have to go a certain way, but you could still put on different clothes in the morning than you've ever worn, or, just try something new. There's always something. Be creative. Think of things that you can do differently to interrupt your pattern. The big why is because bringing consciousness to the way you do things. So instead of doing things unconsciously, you're going to actively change the way you do them and bring consciousness to some new areas that you haven't been, where you've kind of just been sleepwalking through. And bringing that new consciousness, guess what? It's going to make your brain activate. It's going to get you thinking in a different way. And it's going to help you activate something within you that can help you break through blocks in other areas. Because when you make changes and bring consciousness into any area of your life, you are also going to experience a change in other areas of your life. And the universe recognizes that. So when you do this with intention, you're amplifying it even more. When you're bringing the intention of, I'm changing up my life in these ways, and my intention is to experience a breakthrough in this area. And so now I want you to write in the chat, what area of your life are you looking for a breakthrough in? Is it your finances? Is it your health and wellness? Is it some other area? Maybe it's relationships, whatever area of life it is, your freedom, your time freedom, your relationship with your children or your spouse or your partner. Let me know, put in the chat, what area of your life are you bringing more intention to in order to break through? And what are you changing in order to get there? And then finally, what action can you take and will you take in order to help you realize that breakthrough and that change? And so this is what I mean by what action. So things will change. Your thoughts will change. Even what you perceive will change. When you start to drink out of a different coffee mug, when you've been using the same one for years, you're going to see different things. Maybe you pull something out of the cabinet and there's something behind it that you forgot you even had, that you didn't know was there. And then you start to look at all of your cabinets and you're like, I'm going to rearrange this, and I'm going to let go of some things that I don't want anymore. And I'm going to maybe add something new that I think is beautiful. That's the type of domino effect that can happen when you make one simple change in your life. And then, decluttering is huge. I kind of take a day out of every week and declutter an area. And wow, it feels so good to do that. I'm having the floor in my office replaced this week. And because of that, I needed to clean out the entire office space. And even though I just moved not that long ago, there were still things accumulating in my office that I don't need, that I could have organized better, that, there's some things where I got to a certain point in my unpacking and I just left certain areas like up the closet. I didn't even know where that stuff was. So it was an opportunity for me to go back through and organize better. In fact, because of this, I'm actually changing my office to a different room of the house. I'm going to make the spare bedroom where the office was after the floors changed out. So complete turnaround, even though I'm in the same house, I'm changing rooms. And that has opened up different ideas and thoughts. And I'm going to decorate differently and do things a little differently. So it's fun, and this one decision to change something escalates and affects everything else. So that is my challenge for you today. What are you changing in your life? What are the results that you are breaking through? And what actions are you taking differently? So I also would love to hear what your results are. If you start having results, put them in the chat, come back and let me know what happens in your life. I will end there for today. So glad to be with you again. So glad to be back here sharing, and I love the interaction. Let me know also, what would you like to hear from me? What would you like to hear me talk about? What would you like to hear me share about? What is the most helpful for you? What's up for you right now? Because I want to contribute to you in a way that you actually are interested in hearing about. And so if you're willing, or if you have something on your mind, put it in the chat so I know what would you like to hear a video from me about in the future. And I will make videos on anything that I feel like is relevant that I can. Thank you for joining me. I'm Waxela Sananda. If this is helpful to you, do please give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe to my channel. That helps me and it helps other people find this channel. I love you. I cherish you. Namaste.